What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Firearms Friday. And before we get started, Heat Academy. Don't even ask any questions. Look them up on Instagram. Limited edition run. I got one. Getting into the Firearms Friday topic. First, let me apologize. I know it's been a few Fridays and we've missed it. But hey, school started. Things got chaotic. I couldn't get back here and sit down with a weapon and talk about it. But here we go, talking about a weapon that's in the collection and talking about gun owners in general for just this beginning part. So most of the guys who own firearms, we're slightly delusional. We have a lot, probably, multiple weapons, and we always say things like each gun has a purpose or every gun fits into some type of role. But the truth is, sometimes we just be wanting guns. We just want more guns. If I'm being honest about this one here, there was a time in life where I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 real hard and I wanted a lever gun and that was it. And I said, baby, I want another gun. I just want another gun. And my wife said, well, baby, just get you a gun. And I said, God damn, I love my wife. I sure do love my wife. And then, paya, here you go. We got the Rossi 357 lever action little rifle. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. So I could have went with multiple other weapons. I could have went with a Henry. Could have went with a Marlin. I looked into all the different brands quite a bit before making the purchase. But I ended up going with the Rossi one because of the price and availability. Like everything else was kind of out of stock at that point. This was a 2018 purchase, maybe. I went with the Rossi one because of the King's loading gate. Like I like the side loading action of it. I chose to go against the Marlin, not the Marlin. Is it the Marlin? Whichever one of the Marlin or the Henry. I don't know which one has the loading tube, but I really didn't like that. I don't like that at all. So King's loading gate was what I wanted. I got what I wanted in that regard. Now I do know that when you have rounds in a tube, you don't want to have them like pointy little rounds button up against one another. I did a whole bunch of research looking into that before I made the purchase. So I ended up going with the 357 that, one, because it does have enough power to take medium-sized game out of a 20-inch barrel, as well as it can also shoot 38 special, which I like having multiple calibers being able to be used in one single firearm. One thing about the Rossi to me that is unique is that it does not come with the best looking wood. So me being into firearms like I am, I don't think I've done a video on my pop shotgun. That'd probably be the next one. But I went through and sanded down all the wood and went back with a darker stain because I just like messing with wood on a gun. I do love wood on a gun. And I really like this one. It's a replica of the old lever actions from the old West or the Red Dead games. It does have a safety, which makes it relatively modernized. The old ones didn't have safety. You just left it half cocked, and that way the trigger couldn't be pulled. That was the setup. That was their safety back in the day. When you're ready to fire, and now you're fully ready to go. I do like the buckhorn sights. I'll be rolling in some footage at some point with the first few shots that I took and the results of the targets. I shot the first few rounds at 25 yards, and I don't know why, but I did take footage of them. It's probably horrible angles and bad lighting, but it is some firing footage on Firearms Friday. And I'll tell you what, the 357 round coming out of here feels real good. I don't know what that bullet does at 100 yards or a great distance, but I do feel confident enough with this rifle that if I can see it with moderate light in these buckhorn sights, if I can see it, I can hit it. Again, not knowing what the bullet will do drop wise at a greater distance, past 25 yards. But if we're in a decent range, I can see you, I can hit you, and that's a whole lot of confidence. Now, the 357 would be what I would use if I went after something to hunt. But in truth, if you want to shoot it for fun, shoot the 38 special. My God, the first time I fired a 38 special out of this gun, I stopped. I think you can catch it, but I stopped and I looked down at the camera because I was like, wow, this thing kicks like a baby, like a newborn infant, 5-pound, 9-ounce little baby. It's not much recoil at all. It felt like you were shooting a real hot 22. It was something else. It was very pleasurable to shoot that. So I do have some footage of me just taking those first few shots, and I do have my targets from that day. The first real tight patterns were me firing at 25 yards, concentrating. And then later on, I was like, ammo dump time. Let's shoot this thing as fast as we can. And I will say this about shooting a lever gun as fast as you can. Learn how to keep your hand in the lever. Because if you get a pinky that comes out and gets smashed and you're moving as fast as you can, that thing hurts. That thing hurts a good bit to catch a finger or anything else between this and that lever. That's pretty painful. The other only downside I would say about owning this firearm is the cleanup. The cleanup of this thing is not pleasurable at all. You take out these screws and stuff just start falling out all over the place. It was not a very pleasurable experience to take it apart, take the wood off, and sand it down, and then put it all back together. I had to watch plenty of YouTube guides to try to, navigate that thing. So it's not something that I'll probably be shooting a whole lot. I always talk about the potential of me going hunting, but the appeal of it is just not there. I just want to fire at something living and then eat it, because I would eat whatever I would kill. So, but man, the idea of going out there for days and just sitting in a duck blind or sitting in a tree stand, like, bro, that's not at all an appealing experience. I don't know how people leave and go on these hunting trips for days and days and days. I'm sure I know a few guys who see this and say, "Oh, we could take it. It'll be fun." It's like, I don't know, bro. Maybe one day I'll get out there and actually use these firearms the way I intended to use them. But that's about it. I love my lever action. Yeah, I know some people would call it cheap, going the poor man's route, but I enjoyed it. I got it from Kentucky Gun Company online, and it was a pleasurable buying experience from them. Check those guys out. They have weird things in weird levels of availability, even during the times that we're currently living in. So check out Kentucky Gun Company. I enjoyed it. And that'll be pretty much it for Firearms Friday. I think the next gun that I'll do will be something that I get my hands on from outside, or maybe I'll give the backstory of how I got into the woodwork, because I think that's a pretty interesting, endearing story. So that might be next. Got to take a trip to see my parents. Anyway, that's all I have here for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the footage of the first few shots out of this Rossi from a few years back. And I enjoyed coming back here and showing it off to you all. So enjoy yourself. Guard your heart. Come back. Check out more videos.